Hello and welcome to the Belly and Scratch podcast. I am your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today, we don't have a topic.
It's dry.
You mean just dry weather or...
It's dry weather. My lip just split.
Lip balm?
Yeah, I need some lip balm.
Yeah. Yeah. Do that.
What's up with that?
Yeah. Like, don't you have this medicated lip balm that you usually have? Or...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well,
Where's it at?
It's in the other end of the house, I guess.
All right.
It's not like I carry any chapstick on me.
Why not? I do.
Wallet, phone, gun, chapstick. No gun. I don't have a gun.
No.
I've got guns, but no gun.
I'm saving up for mine.
Nah.
Because I'm like, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm also tired.
Why you tired?
Well, the past weekend I've done it again.
You disappeared into the darkness.
For 2 days straight, yeah.
Playing D&D.
Yeah, Friday night I was playing D&D, and I don't know. I'm kind of half and half on.
Right.
Now, obviously, this was not the worst house I've been to. We already recorded a podcast on the worst house I've ever been to.
Yes, we did.
I don't know how you could top that. Unless it's some shack in the middle of the Blair Witch Woods. Some abandoned 18th century house. And there's something trying to kill you right around the corner. Yeah, that'd be the best way to top that.
I still hadn't figured out how they... I mean, who puts a house out in the middle of the woods?
I don't know. Like here's the thing.
Unless it's like some kind of palatial estate or something like that.
That or like some kind of homesteading thing. I would buy that. I would do that.
Right.
I would have my own little homestead, nothing huge.
But there would be a road to it. It's not
like some kind of
like
road.
Everything would be overgrown.
Yeah.
And you're going through this thick forested area, and then all of a sudden, there's a house.
Yeah, there's a house.
That would spook the bejesus out of me anyway.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't care what time it is. I don't care if I'm lost in the woods. If I'm lost in the woods and I'm just terrified out of my mind, like in the Blair Witch, and there was just a house... Like, not even like, not like a dilapidated building.
No.
That would make
sense.
Either way. Like some sort of house that looks like it is abandoned, but it's not dilapidated, like it's been there for a couple of decades rather than a century or two.
Right.
That would scare the shit out of me. Because I would be like, where the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
There's not even a service road to bring the lumber in.
Yeah. Like, If it's
dropped it out of the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. If it's a semi-modern house with no road leading to it, again, it'd be one thing if it was built in the 18th century or the 19th century, but if we're talking a few decades rather than a century or two, that is a totally different thing.
Spookified.
Yeah. That would be like, I'm not going in there.
I'm not going in there.
No, I'm not going in there.
I might knock on the door. That'd be the closest.
Yeah.
I might go up on the porch and knock on the door.
Yeah.
Might even throw a rock through a window or something. But,
speaking of house out in the middle of the woods and knocking on the front door to get in.
Yeah.
This actually relates to my D&D adventure.
Oh, really?
This full beat for beat. That's literally what we just did on Friday night. Now, I have a couple of people that I just do game nights with. Some is D&D, some is board games. This past weekend it was back-to-back D&D and then a board game night.
Right.
Different groups of people, but, whatever. The activity's the same.
Pretty much.
Anyway, so the D&D place... Now these guys are not really far from where we're at now, and they're pretty cool. And like I said, it's not the worst house I've ever been in, but on the one hand, it's not kept up really well.
Right.
Not really.
Is it an individual or is it a couple?
Oh, it's a bunch of people living in the same house.
Really?
Yeah.
A bunch?
Yes. Because that will lead me to the other. On the other hand, I gave these guys a lot of slack and didn't get super uncomfortable because, number one, they're all roommates, splitting rent. The house is like 100 years old.
Really?
Yeah, like old-timey 100 years old.
Okay.
Little smaller house, harder to clean because you don't quite know what's put where. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you've been into like one of these old houses. You like open a door and all of a sudden there's like there's like a compartment that no one had any idea that was there.
There's a whole lot of that going on lately.
Well, that's intentional, or it's all intentional, but at least you know about it. But
yeah.
No, the house they lived in is like 100 years old. There's like multiple people, living there, splitting the rent.
Right.
All have jobs. So it was unkempt and kind of dirty.
Maybe because they were all working.
Yeah.
That's acceptable.
Yeah, I can accept that.
If
I could also see the floor. That's another big thing.
Check.
Yeah. I saw the floor. Like, I can accept an unkempt house that everyone is moved into and working and trying to make a living. I can accept that.
Right. Right.
At some point, you just need to put together a day.
Right.
Like, once a month, just throw all the stuff out on the lawn and burn it, but...
It's like if you stub your toe on a piece of furniture and some dog food comes out and you're like,
what the fuck?
There's no dog here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time to set aside a day to just go through the house.
Spring cleaning, but spring is months away from now.
Exactly. You need to do some monthly cleaning, but anyway. So I gave him some slack.
It's a commitment, I'm going to tell you. It's not easy to keep your house clean.
No, it is not.
You got to work and, I cut my own grass. I work on my own vehicles.
Yeah. So
on my days off, I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily include a vacuum cleaner, but I try.
No, I get it. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. So, So the D&D adventure, it temporarily got put on hold because our poor DM, she had to have her gallbladder taken out.
What?
Yeah. We started session 0 like a month and a half ago. She gets ill. They take her to the ER. Yeah. Turns out her gallbladder is saying "fuck y'all" or whatever the medical terminology is.
That's right.
So they took it out and she had to recover.
That the gallbladder's only going to put up with that fried stuff for so long.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be taken out and put in a jar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, So we actually had our first session the other week, and It was literally a test. It was literally like, oh, hey, our best guy got snatched, and they're out at this cottage, go get him. And me and the other people who were playing, we're just basically shit-talking the people who sent us to do the mission in quotes. Like, if it's their best guy, then how the fuck did they get caught? And why would you send some yabos that don't even live in this town after this person? You see what I mean? Like, we just do shit like that.
Pretty much.
There was a cottage in the middle of the spooky woods.
Wait a minute. This is in the story, or is this reality?
This is story time.
Oh, okay.
Okay, for those of you
Cottage in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, this is spooky time. This is story time.
Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah. For those who actually know what I'm talking about, we're doing this.
Because I don't.
I know. This is flavor for the people that know what I'm talking about.
Right.
We're playing this particular game. We're playing in the Out of the Wildmount book, the Critical Role book, and I refuse to learn the name of the woods that are cursed because of some elven bullshit. So I just call it the Scary Woods. People know what the fuck I'm talking about. Silver Woods, or whatever the hell. I don't know. I have not watched Critical Role. It's not that I don't care. They're up to their third campaign. It's like 200 episodes per season. I don't have time for that.
Huh?
Yeah, I know. I know. So
No worries.
long story short, as we were all debating how to handle this, I had the brilliant idea of just go knock on the front door.
Short story long.
Yes.
Go knock on the door.
Yeah, go knock on the door. Because if the front door is booby trapped, guess what? If you knock on the door, they have to turn that off.
Well.
Plus, it's a cabin in the woods in the middle of the fucking night. Who's gonna be knocking on their door? They're going to open the door. That was my logic. Guess what? It works.
Cabin in the woods. Well, I mean, that is one way. It is that is one way to address things. Is, a frontal assault.
Oh yeah, no.
Just walk up and knock on the door.
Yeah, that's literally what we did. That's literally what I did. Everybody else hid on the sides of the wall. I knocked on the door.
Search warrant.
Here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. The character I'm playing in this particular game is basically the class is monk, but I'm basically trying to do this fighter monk multi-class.
All right.
But the character is okay. I want you to imagine.
Oh.
I might have to explain this to you. I want you to imagine if Andy Griffith was a bounty hunter who punched you repeatedly in the face.
Oh.
That is my character.
How dare you besmirch a North Carolinian?
I'm not besmirching him. I'm literally saying, what if
Andy Griffith.
What if Andy Griffith?
Andy Taylor.
Yeah, and what if
Sheriff Taylor?
Yeah, what if Sheriff Taylor was instead a bounty hunter, and his way of fighting people was fighting like Ip Man?
That sounds spooky as shit.
That is my character.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah. My character literally has a banjo and everything.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Shut up.
You shut up. Friggin' James Dickey is in hell right now. Anyway.
I don't know who that is.
The guy who wrote Deliverance, the movie with the band, made the banjo famous.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? Look. All right, look.
The movie that made the whole Southern banjo ding 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 ding
was Deliverance.
Was a movie called Deliverance. Was a book called Deliverance. It was written by a dude by the name of James Dickey, who actually was the literary guy at the University of a town that's 2 hours south.
Really?
Yes.
I was about to say, if you tell me Deliverance was written by someone from New York, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind.
I don't know where he was born. Honestly, I don't.
Well, here's the thing. I haven't read
James
the book.
Dickey was from this area.
Oh.
Regionally.
Well, that's just beautiful.
Yeah.
My question, here's the thing. I almost have to read the book now. Here's the thing.
I hear it's a good book. I've never read the book.
Yeah. Honestly, I have my ways, so I can get an electronic copy of it.
Oh,
I'm real easy.
With what you know, yes.
But here's the thing.
You could get a book without charge. Yes,
yeah, exactly. So here's the thing. I have not read the book Deliverance. I know what the movie's infamous for.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate.
Which is extremely unfortunate.
But here's the thing.
Sorry, Ned Beatty.
Yeah, exactly.
He's dead now, but anyway.
Yeah, apologize to his ghost. Here's the thing. On the one hand, every single group of people on the planet, they're infamous for something, and they gotta take their lumps.
True.
You often see in media, Germans depicted like Nazis.
Oh, well, yeah.
Here's the thing. No. Let me finish my point.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. Yes.
Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire. Here's the thing. Every single group of people on the planet is infamous for something, and they're gonna take their lumps for it.
Right.
They're gonna get bashed for it.
Sure.
Doesn't matter where you're from. Germany, Japan, Russia, South America, South Africa, Canada, wherever. America.
Right.
You gotta take your lumps. And from the geographical region that we reside in, we understand this very, very well.
Sure.
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 I still fucking hate the movie Sweet Home Alabama, and I hate the song, because I'm like,
Oh.
guys, I'm done. Stop. Stop playing it. Stop watching it. I'm sick and tired of it. I get it. But on the other hand, out of all the things to bash the South with,
Yeah.
you had to go with that.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the horror movie trope of don't fuck with hillbillies. But that's a bit too far into the brush.
It really is too far into the brush. I've met hillbillies.
Like, seriously, when you make the hills have eyes be quaint in comparison to an extent, you fucked up.
Okay, the whole act of penetration is just overkill.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying they won't kill you, but I'm pretty sure they won't kill you before they kill you.
Yeah, that's the difference.
That's the difference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like a bug on the windshield of their lives.
Yeah, honestly and truly.
And that's what got me about the whole thing. I was like,
really?
Yeah, really?
You were just like, really?
No, I mean, hillbillies in the Southeast.
Mountain folk, mostly.
Mountain folk.
Appalachian folk.
Appalachian. It's a very interesting combination of Scotch-Irish, and Indian.
Yeah.
And,
typically
it makes a very
Lumbee, Cherokee.
Lumbee, Cherokee, Creek.
Seneca, yeah.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're not bad people unless you fuck with them.
Yeah, just leave them alone.
Just leave them alone.
Just leave them alone.
You know, if you cause them any trouble, they're more trouble than they're worth. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
They're not dangerous people, but if you screw with them, you're in trouble because you don't understand what you're dealing with.
No.
We
live here. We don't really understand.
We live here.
We don't.
And I remember when I was a kid and living up in northwestern North Carolina near the West Virginia line.
Oh, yeah.
Good people.
Mm-hmm.
They're, good people, very centered, but if you're one of them, you're great. If you're not one of them, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And they love you, you're cool. If they don't love you, you need to leave town. It isn't one of those things where, hey, we disagree, but we can live in the same neighborhood. No.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
No. They're very clannish. Very clannish.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very clannish. And they stick to their own. If you're one of them, they'll protect you until death.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not, they'll run you out of town. And if you're not one of them, that's probably a good path to follow to get out of town.
Indeed.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. No, I remember during my when I was younger and going to doing that Europe tour of Europe I did.
Yeah.
I remember we had gotten onto the beginning of the last leg of our journey over in northern Italy, and there was without going into details, there was
What do you mean without going into detail? That was
there
was some great stories that came out of that.
Hang on a minute. All right, now I don't want to give this organization a name because I'm pretty sure whoever was sent to escort my particular tour of Europe was not exactly the A, B, C, or even D squad. In all honesty,
the Q squad,
something like that.
Further down on the rotation.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Because here's
cool.
the thing, with the exception of there were 3 American chaperones with us and 1, I guess, foreign diplomat person who was from Austria.
Austria?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very bizarre interacting with someone who sounded like the female Arnold Schwarzenegger. She had the accent. It was strong.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah, I'm talking like early days of Arnold's acting career strong.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, and what was...
I'm going to tell you something.
You know what was so...
I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah, what?
If I heard that accent come up, and forgive me, folks.
Yeah.
I can only deal with my personal frame of reference.
Sure.
And I don't mean this in a negative way, but if I was to hear that accent come out of someone who was assigned female at birth, anyway, I would be laughing. If she was telling me the building was on fire and I needed to get out, I would just...
You know...
I would just start...
funny story
laughing
about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought she was all right as a person. I don't remember her name. It's been years.
European people are different. They really are.
Apparently.
Their manner is very different.
Apparently so, because what I found the most strange was, my whole thing was I wanted to give her the respect.
Sure.
And wide berth.
Sure.
Well, not so wide I don't interact with her, but, you know, because I don't know who she is. She doesn't know who I am. I don't know how she operates. She probably doesn't know how I operate, you know.
Sure.
Respect.
Sure. Respect.
And I would always try to, like, broach subjects of, you know, her country's origins, how things operate over there, customs.
You're just curious.
Like, I'm curious.
And you want to learn.
And she almost dismissed me in a way.
Really?
Yeah, like, I always had to initiate the conversation. Now, granted, she's got, like, 25 plus kids, or, like, 20 plus kids, but about 20, 25 people.
Yeah.
Actually, closer to 20, actually.
Yeah.
But whenever I would ask her about, you know, her stuff, she would always... It was very dismissive in a way. I'm not calling into question the nature... At first, I didn't call into the question of the nature of the Austrian people.
Right.
Until I started to realize that I try to ask her about her customs and culture and stuff like that.
Right.
I get kind of sort of brushed aside, cold-shouldered. And I realized she gave more attention to the people that tried to get her to say Schwarzenegger quotes. So that whole shit you just did with get to the chopper, people actually tried to fucking get her to say his quotes.
Oh, that's...
And she gave them more floor space.
Did it seem like she enjoyed it?
She was confused. She had no idea.
She had no idea.
She had no... Come on,
people.
Here's the thing.
We do find humor in the differences of culture.
Sure.
We do.
Yes.
We do. And it's not a mocking.
No.
As a rule of thumb.
Yes.
It's not a mocking, you are less and we are more. Although that does exist.
It does exist. It's just different.
It's just different.
No, what actually got me was it's not that she didn't know about the quotes, it's just she was more confused. Not because people try to make her say things, but because she apparently didn't have a strong idea of who Arnold Schwarzenegger was.
Really?
Yeah.
I figured he'd be a patron saint in that country.
That's what I thought. Here's the thing, she's like one person, so I'm not saying that isn't the truth.
Schwarzenegger literally at one time was the third most powerful person on the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely in the top 5.
Yes, definitely.
It's like, you know, the U.S. president, the Russian president.
Yeah.
The governor of California is definitely in the top 5.
Exactly.
Okay, if you don't want to think top 3,
so
top
here's
5.
the thing. Yeah, I'm not laying it across the entire country of people. It might have been just her. Maybe she was just really sheltered. I don't know.
Well,
but at some point, I started to question to myself, because I'm not getting the answers out of her. I was like, these people are, you know, these kids around her, they're trying to make her say, get to the chopper. It's not a tumor.
Dude.
She had no idea. She was confused.
It's not a tumor.
Yeah.
It's not a tumor.
Like nothing.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy, and I was like, what? I don't know. Maybe she was more interested because she had no idea what was happening. I don't know.
She didn't understand she was comedy fodder.
Exactly.
You know?
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
Some people, it might...
Some people, if you mock people in a place like that, in a situation like that, you're just not a cool person.
Exactly.
But there's nothing wrong with, trying to,
And plus, in the beginning, here's the thing. In the
these
beginning...
types of experience, these types of experience bridge us.
Sure.
They allow us to communicate with each other, to interact with each other, with
laugh
people
together.
Laugh.
Yes.
Laugh together. That's a beautiful expression.
No, I get
Let's
it.
laugh together. Okay.
Yeah, but I also realized that at first, like the first couple of days, ow, my ears, Jesus.
Nice.
I know. Yes. The first couple of days this was happening.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, good joke. I get it, but it kept happening. And happening, and happening.
Really?
Yes.
That much?
Not with everybody. Like, obviously everybody at first.
Oh, yeah.
But then at
sure.
some point it turned into like 3 to 4 people kept asking her to say stupid stuff. And I was like, oh, those are the mean-spirited people there.
Those are the mean-spirited people.
Yeah, because it's one thing to go... I wonder what "get to the chopper" sounds like when an Austrian woman says it.
Right.
Then after a certain point, it just becomes mockery.
Yeah, it does.
And that was those 3 or 4 people. So.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, it is. So I don't know. Anyway, that's not the point of the story. The point of the story was at some point in on the Italian leg, they decided that everyone had to participate in like a homestay with an Italian family.
Right.
Spend time with some of the locals.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say
did you do the homestay before you went to Rome?
Before Rome.
Before Rome.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
This was in northern Italy. Just a couple of not super far from the border, up north. Yeah. And obviously it wasn't really a good idea to send one person to one home because bad things could possibly happen.
Sure.
So
no, that makes sense.
So they basically had everyone double up and group up.
Every victim needs a witness.
Sure. Anyway. So what ended up happening...
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes. So what ended up happening is... It was okay, now, I don't know where I mentioned it, but I know I mentioned it on podcast where when I was at the Career Center, they basically put everybody in a group between like 4 different classes who they thought would work together. And it was a complete disaster because they did not line up anybody who was compatible.
They just pulled names out of a hat.
They didn't even put names out of a hat. They consciously put people together who they thought would work together, but it was completely wrong.
Oh.
Here's the thing.
Oh, I know what they did.
What?
Because they put you,
me,
with someone who was I don't want to say lawbreaker.
Me?
No, not you, but the other person.
Oh.
You're a little more dressed down, button up,
yeah.
Hey, do what you're supposed to do kind of thing.
Sure.
And then put you in the same house with someone who probably needed to be brought into line.
I'm not that person.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You're not that person.
No.
But the other person that you went into the homestay,
yeah,
weren't they kind of over the line a little bit?
They were. This kind of feeds into the Appalachian thing. She was from the North Carolina mountains.
Right.
And here's the thing. Same exact thing happened on this trip. They paired people up with people that the chaperones thought would be compatible together. The exact same thing happened. Nobody liked their person that they were staying with
Right.
from the group.
Right.
You know, no one got along.
Maybe they thought that you would keep this other individual in line.
No.
Really?
Yeah. I'll give you an example. Basically, me and her and a bunch of the Homestead Daughters' friends. There was this one guy who he was paying me more attention than the person I was paired with, and she set the tablecloth on fire and tried to pin it on me.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I hadn't heard this story.
Yes, you did.
Set the tablecloth on fire?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, she had somehow gotten her hands on a lighter and lit the table on fire, and yeah.
Man, that's pathological right there.
I'm aware of this now.
That's like burying cats in the ground and running them over the lawnmower.
Oh, I know.
I mean, there's something wrong.
I know.
Absolutely wrong with an individual who would be in a building and set the tablecloth on fire.
We were outside, but it doesn't change
Either
that.
way.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
Yeah. You see
Wow.
you see what I mean by when you force people to be together?
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, she just trash talked me the whole time afterwards. And I was like, I don't care.
And so now she's probably married and now she's had offspring and she's polluted them.
Hell if I know. I don't know who this person is. I don't care, honestly.
Set the tablecloth on fire.
Yeah.
That's an ass kicking right there.
Oh, I know.
I mean, it just is.
Mm-hmm.
It just is. Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah. Don't you Johnny Carson your way out of this. It is serious.
Man, I'm going to tell you something. Anybody came back and told me one of my kids set a tablecloth on fire in a situation, any situation,
Mm-hmm.
there would be a stone cold ass kicking go down.
I don't know.
Okay, take me to jail. All right. I'm not having any one of my kids be psychotic like that. That's crazy. That's
know.
crazy.
I know.
That's
I was there.
There's wrong kind of crazy. There's crazy, and then there's like, what the fuck?
I know. I was there. Rick.
And then blamed it on you.
Tried to.
Can't even own it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, how'd that work out?
I don't know.
She said, you did it. You went, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Man, that's not cool.
Yeah, somehow, even though
you're trying to be ambassadors to another area of the globe.
And then for some reason, when one of your compadres gets more attention from the local populace, then you set the tablecloth on fire.
Man, that's... Jesus.
Mm. She wasn't the only person on there who... Well, she might have been the most extreme, but there was obviously people who were on that trip.
Definitely the most extreme. I mean, what are you going to do? Oh, okay, all right. Well, you're paying attention to my classmates, so I'm going to stab you in the chest with a fork.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is there? Fire? Oh man, that's bad juju right there.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of people who were on that trip with us who did have that bad juju. Like the people who we were at like this French restaurant.
I don't understand.
They would just throw
people.
shit
I really don't.
at the other patrons.
I mean, I know what area of the country we live in. I know these people every seventh day.
Yeah.
Are sitting in a building, dressed very well, listening to
the exact same fucking songs.
The exact same song, the exact same sermon. I don't know where I tell you, it's difficult for me, and I know I have an ego issue.
Sure.
I do.
I get it.
But I just don't I mean, where does that come from? Where is the psychological issue that would make somebody say, hey, you know what? It's time to get the lighter out. And you never saw this person smoke.
I don't know where she got it.
So what is she doing? What is she doing?
I have to assume it belonged to the people that already lived there. What is she doing with a lighter? I have to assume it. Here's the thing. You can't take lighters on the planes.
No. I mean, not in your carry-on. You might could pack it, I guess.
I don't know. Ain't none of my business how you get
20
one.
years, thank God.
Yeah, no. And she's not a smoker. I have to assume the lighter came from the people who lived there.
Wow.
Which means she had to go and actively look for it.
Man, that's crazy on a like a Ted Kaczynski kind of, Unabomber
Speaking
type
of Ted Kaczynski.
Speaking. Yes.
I told you I made friends with the Unabomber.
What?
Yeah. No, okay, not the Unabomber. I just say that just to fuck with people. I just go up, hey, today I made friends with the Unabomber.
We liked each other's statuses.
Yeah. No, what had happened was, this is a more quaint story. Let's segue away from this because honestly,
I'm really disturbed.
And here's the thing: the problem is I have no answers to give you.
No, and I don't.
It's not that I don't want to help you. It's just there are no answers. I can't help.
I can't. No, you're. Listen, I don't have any unrealistic expectations.
Other than chalking it up to sociopathic.
That's
behavior.
sociopathic. That's sociopathic. I don't care what anybody says. F you, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Had chalked it up to a natural-born chemical imbalance in the brain.
Yeah. Whatever you want to attribute it to.
Yeah. Or a nurture thing where one of the parents did shit like that. Yeah. There
is absolutely no positive spin on something. There's none.
Yeah, and so I would prefer we segue away from that because I have no answers.
My brain is just kerfumped with that.
Just chill. There are cookies in the other room. Shut up.
Cookie.
Yeah, it tastes like Andy's chocolate mints.
Yeah.
So, I went to my usual tea shop on Main Street on our town.
Yeah.
So, it's one of my safe spots. I went in there to try to recruit the person that said she would come train with me.
Right.
See, her finger was less broken. Which, yeah.
Sure.
And that was like a couple months ago, so
that can hamper you, sure.
Yeah, that can hamper me, yeah. Yeah, because I'm like, you're not doing legs like twice a week, bruh. I'm not doing that.
Sure.
So... I learned that she had to use some more money to go out of town because her kid is fucking stupid or something like that. Got in trouble with the law somewhere up north, and I was like, you know what, that's fair.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's fair. So I was talking with the person that was working there. Someone new to me.
New to you.
Yeah, new to me, because I know about 3/4 of the staff. This apparently was like the 1/4 of the staff I had.
This is somebody that worked there?
Yeah, someone that worked there. So 1/4 of the staff I had yet to meet.
Cool.
So, this guy's roommate comes in, nice lady. She was pretty cool, young lass. She was pretty cool. She introduced herself to me as Desky.
Desky.
Yeah, desky, which I thought, okay, that's weird. Possibly Polish?
Is that a verb?
I don't know.
Is that an adjective?
I don't know.
An adjective or a verb? Definitely not a noun.
Yeah.
Okay, but they've turned it into a proper noun saying it's their name.
I don't know.
Whatever.
So, we, all three of us got to talking, and she adds me on Snapchat, and I was like, cool, scan the thing, because apparently that's how you do it with Snapchat. And it shows her full name.
Uh-huh.
Ted Kaczynski.
She?
Yes.
Her full name on Snapchat was Ted Kaczynski.
Yes.
Man, that's some crazy squirrels there, buddy.
It was spelled different.
How do you spell Ted different?
No, not Ted. The Kaczynski part there was like an E where there should have been an A or something like that.
Right.
A little bit different.
Like a schwa.
Yeah, like a schwa.
Okay.
But she was basically having to live that scene from Young Frankenstein where he introduced himself.
Was she your age?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. She basically, her entire life is basically that one scene from Young Frankenstein where he introduces himself as Frankenstein, and then someone's like, wait, Frankenstein! And he just looks up, just pissed. That's her life. That scene is her life.
Oh, that's funny.
And I asked her, like, Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber? And she kind of goes to that usual backpedaling thing. It's kind of like, someone says they're Persian, and you go, "Oh, Iranian," and that, that's yeah. They have to kind of do this backpedal of, man. Not to, basically, they're like, I am not going to be a problem. Is what the backpedaling is for. And I said, no. Yeah, I'm not accusing you. I'm just asking you. So, my lizard brain isn't making connections where there are none. Nope, it's legit. That's her name.
Wow. Of all the names you could,
correct.
I would like to have been a fly on the wall in that household when she was younger.
Me too.
That was handed to her by somebody.
Yes.
Dad, mom, uncle, aunt. I don't know.
And I told her, look, I appreciate that everyone has an opinion, and he might have had a point here or there, but the application was not the best.
That guy killed people.
Exactly.
And he was good at it.
Yeah, because he was that smart.
He was that smart,
But like I said, I told her, I value that everyone is allowed to have an opinion.
If his brother hadn't turned him in, they would have never found him.
Exactly. So, and I said to her, he may have had a valid point here or there, but the application of how he went about that was probably not the best.
You're not gonna. Well, yeah, it's kind of like Jim Jones. Okay. You can recruit followers.
Yes, you can.
But people who are hardcore into it, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
I don't know, man.
Where does that come from?
Which part? Do you mean the Jim Jones thing or the Ted Kaczynski thing?
The Ted Kaczynski thing.
If we were any more popular...
Listen, I mean, that's like, I don't know, it's like Santa Claus from Mars, for crying out loud. I mean, as someone your age...
Yes.
So
if she was your age, I would be
If she was my age, I'd be like, well,
okay,
all right.
Sure.
You're just crazy old... And, let's move on.
No, her first name was short for something.
I lived through it.
I know you did.
I'd lived through the Unabomber.
I know you did.
Where they would come onto the news every now and then after somebody had been killed by some type of mail bomb.
Of course.
And they would show that same picture of Kaczynski with the curly hair and the hoodie.
Yeah.
The sunglasses and the shades.
Of course.
And he was definitely an urban legend. But somebody your age
having
that would
roughly the same
that identity to that level. I mean, that's just, where does that come from?
I don't know. Maybe. Well, here's the thing. Maybe part of it is because in order to change your name is a vaguely complicated process.
Unless you're just trying to be a provocateur.
No, here's the thing. She was not a rebel. She wasn't that type of person that steps on the grass when there's a sign that says "Do not step on grass" for no fucking reason. No. She wasn't that type of person.
Right.
I've met those people.
Yeah.
You know those people.
They're out there.
Yeah.
They are.
This was not her. She wasn't some Rage Against the Machine type of fuck the system type of person. She might have had, thoughts and feelings and values towards it.
I would imagine she would to embrace such a moniker.
But the thing is that I don't think that name was not, she didn't pick it. I don't think she picked it. It was... Based on her reaction when I asked her about it, she backpedaled instead of being like, oh yeah. Backpedaling usually means that it's not something you're comfortable talking about.
Yeah.
So that was handed to her, and she may just not have the resources to change it.
Huh. That's interesting.
I don't know.
And that's her label.
Apparently.
Wow. That's...
So, jumping from one mindfuck to another mindfuck. Let's go to a third one.
Yeah.
Hopefully less invasive and intense.
Sure.
Okay. I had an experience.
You did.
This past Thursday.
Wow. Enough to log.
Yes.
Cool.
So, all right. Now, I have dance classes. This is not a secret.
True.
So on some classes will actually teach technique. Some is like with a prop.
Right.
This was more of this was kind of like, I'm trying to say this without sounding pretentious.
An artiste pretension.
No, more like being spiritual pretension.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. I'm stuck. I'm never gonna get out from under it.
Well,
here's the thing. My whole thing is like,
that's not a part of who you are, but you.
The pretentious part is not part of who I am.
No.
That's the thing. It's like, I want to engage in this because I like it,
right.
and it feels comfortable on me as
right.
like a thing.
Right.
But there's always this lingering shadow over the top of it that I don't agree with.
As it is used against non-participants.
Correct.
Yeah.
And even against the participants.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, this is like a, expressive, meditative dance class where you're supposed to, like, get in your body and feel all grounded and all that stupid.
Is this one of those things, there is this level of commercial spirituality?
Uh-huh.
Does that phrase sound right?
Yes.
Because you literally are paying
for the spirit.
I'm paying for the spirit.
Yeah, that is literally the problem that I have at every turn.
Yeah.
Where instead of it being something that you might want to try, maybe it might work for you, But sometimes people just package it in this way where it sounds like they're selling something to you.
Yeah.
And I don't care for it.
No, I don't care for it either.
That's kind of my problem.
It doesn't have anything to do with secular, non-secular.
Yeah. It's just how it's a presentation.
It's how it's packaged.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. This packaged spirituality,
yes.
I don't care for it at all.
I don't either. So
I find it completely I don't want to say fraud. That's a very...
It can be.
It can be, yes. It can be.
It can be construed as that.
It can be construed.
And it can also definitely engage in... Here's the thing.
Yeah.
This whole new age of spirituality, at least from what I've seen...
Right.
And I don't mean like the big major religions. I just mean the new age of spirituality in general.
Sure.
It seems to be more center-focused on, like... basically being ground down into the self, like understanding what is around you.
Yeah.
And be it secular or non-secular way.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
But the problem is that
when it's commercialized, it does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So
no.
So basically what this class essentially is just, it's basically they're teaching you a brand new way of meditating.
Well, I think
like a moving meditation, which I'm curious about.
I think that's the innocent way you should approach it.
Yes.
But when it becomes...
when it basically becomes, you're not spiritual enough unless you have a rose quartz duct taped to your third eye chakra.
Is that weaponized?
Oh, yeah.
When they take something like that and for lack of I'm sure there's a better word, but weaponized. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people use
you've
secular. I've seen
you've seen it more than me.
I have seen it, and the only thing that honestly saves me is that I've seen it in its purest form.
How so?
My father.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yes.
There was a spiritual aura to him that was so far away from commercialized.
Yes.
That it doesn't even, honestly and truly, it really doesn't even.
It's an outlier.
It's an outlier. It really doesn't. I mean, you talk about somebody who sells it, who packages it and sells it in a commercial sense.
Kind of does that Marjo type thing. No disrespect to Marjo.
No, Marjo Gordon. I mean, he.
I just mean that style.
Yeah, that style. I mean,
Yeah.
and honestly, he really couldn't help it. I mean, he was definitely.
It was what was given to him.
It is exactly there is victim of nurture.
Sure.
Okay,
but
you
he
were
took
raised,
it and he ran with it.
And he ran with it, but. How could he make a living any other way? Because that's what he knew.
Yeah, that I do like his documentary special, Marjo, named after him.
Right.
Because you did speculate that the reason he did that was he understood the dark side of what he was engaging in, and he did that documentary, which was tell-all about his ministry.
It was honest.
It was honest.
It was completely honest.
And you speculated the reason he did that was because he wanted out, because he saw how it could present a problem.
He saw how oh man, what's a good way to put this? He saw how it had been commercialized and stylized, and he understood how someone could drop into it and engage certain language spoken in a certain way with a certain attitude, but it was all commercial. It really wasn't legit.
Hollow. It was there was nothing to it.
And you can even go all the way back to the New Testament, where the Apostle Paul was talking about and all. According to the law, he was perfect. He understood. The Apostle Paul understood that there was a role.
Yes.
You could, almost like a cloak.
Yes.
You could put on this cloak of activity that would engage other people on a certain level. But he saw the dishonesty of it.
Yes.
Where you were just wearing
a costume.
You were wearing a costume. You were playing a role.
It wasn't you.
And it wasn't you.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that was something Marjo Gordon was trying to get out of.
And I respect that.
And I respect that, because he had a large following. And basically fell out of, for lack of a better expression, fell out of faith with a lot of people. And that was just an aspect of life that he was willing to encourage, because he felt what he was doing was commercialized, packaged.
It wasn't truthful.
Counterfeit.
Yeah, It wasn't truthful.
It wasn't truthful.
I respect that. So there's a lot of stuff like that going on. Granted, however people believe one way or the other really doesn't matter. But that whole weaponizing of someone's faith or someone's craft, someone's spirituality.
Right.
That whole weaponization of, you must have the crystals. You have to have pray the right way. You must work this spell the right way. You must have your chakras open.
And it isn't
chakras opened a certain way.
It's unfortunate that the religion of Tposing, they get a bad rap for aspects.
Everybody does.
Everybody does.
Everybody
does.
They just get shown the most.
Yeah, they're just the ones that show up. They get
the most press.
They get the most press.
Yeah.
Okay, but whether
another
it's
10 to 15 years, it's somebody else.
Right. Whether it's the religion of Tposing, or the New Age stuff.
Yeah.
It does become
the New Age stuff.
It does become commercial. It becomes commercialized.
Yeah.
Hey, you can believe this way, but make sure you buy my stuff.
Exactly.
That sort of thing. Yeah.
Actually, side note.
Yeah.
Small side note, I just thought it was funny. Now, because Marvel, they do, speaking of the Norse people.
Right.
Seeing as how they do, they make stuff, like there was Odin, Thor, Hel, Loki, Freya, they have like the Norse pantheon in Marvel.
Right.
And Marvel is now owned by Disney. So, hang on.
Wait a minute. Are you connecting stuff?
No. It's not me connecting anything. It's me telling you what actually happened.
Okay.
Marvel trademarked the Norse pantheon.
Really?
So, and I know about this because obviously there's people on Etsy who will like make candles and other such things pertaining to the worshippers of this pantheon.
Right.
And Disney apparently started suing these people.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, get out of here.
I'm not fucking with you.
Man, they are ruthless.
They are ruthless. Walt Disney didn't die for this, you shitheel.
Oh, man.
I may not believe in the Pantheon, but
They're suing people on Etsy?
Yeah, Etsy, other
that's
places.
Ridiculous.
Yes.
How does that even work?
I don't know.
It's like
and they're
saying,
they're fighting back.
Well, yeah.
No shit. But
no
it's
shit.
like, but it's like, you know, you had someone who, their whole job, they're a candle maker.
A candle maker.
A candle maker trying to, like, help pay their rent. Who,
they found
a niche. So, you know, some people say, hey, I want a deity candle with Loki stuff in it. I want a deity candle with Thor stuff in it. So on and so forth.
And they're getting sued by Disney.
Yeah, they're not using...
Oh, that's ridiculous.
But here's the thing.
They're not using the Disney characterizations at all.
They are not using Tom Hiddleston's face. They're not using Chris, whatever the fuck his name is.
Really?
They're not using Anthony Hopkins' face. They're not using the depictions of the actors or anything to do with Marvel.
Man,
they're using like runes and symbolism, like ancient symbolism.
Stuff that doesn't have anything to do with anything that Disney has done.
And whether or not you believe in all that stuff doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's not owned by Disney because it predates Disney.
Yes.
But they're still doing it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
That ain't cool.
No, that ain't cool. That's not,
I'm not in that camp, that's not cool.
That would be like the Vatican suing people for invoking the name of Jesus. I mean, come on.
Yeah, if the Vatican just copyrighted Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. And then just started throwing lawsuits at people.
I don't want to say that Disney is an evil empire.
That makes it an evil empire.
I don't know how to look at it any other way.
Yeah, because like I said, we're not.
You can't let somebody sell some candles.
Yeah,
it's not like they're Goofy candles or Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, I mean that's definitely copyright infringement.
That one I would agree with.
Okay, I crocheted a blanket that had Mickey on it, and I sold it as a Mickey Mouse blanket.
Yeah.
If you want to sue me for that on Etsy, sure. Because that's your character and you own it. But telling me that I can't sell something related to
fucking Thor?
Oh,
you mean to tell me I can't make a candle or whatever?
Whatever.
Like a rune set.
Whatever.
I don't care.
A place setting. I don't care.
I can't make a thing to sell with the God of Thunder's stuff on it, like runes,
how do they get away
imagery.
with that?
I don't know. They're too big. That's how they get away with it. Yeah. Sorry. Small side note.
Telling me you got enough lawyers that you
apparently so.
Obviously.
The primary. I don't know if it's still happening.
Man, that's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still happening, and this.
It doesn't have anything to do with me. It doesn't impact me at all. I'm just saying
that is not cool.
That's not cool.
But you know what's worse?
Yeah.
It sets a precedent.
Yeah, it does.
That's what the problem is.
Because if they're able to pull that off,
if they're able to
in a high enough court,
yes, if they're able to basically copyright a religious pantheon, popular or no.
Wow.
Think
about it. Think about it. Stories about Hercules. Let's talk about some other Disney topics. The Mermaids.
Yeah, Mermaids.
How dare you talk about, because there's this thing where people believe about mermaids, whatever. I don't either. And then saying, you can't, I'm not talking about anything associated with the image that we own. Sure. That's like, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Well, seriously, if it wasn't the Norse pantheon, like we're in that alternate timeline where the Hercules movie,
right,
and that particular IP got better traction.
Yeah.
It was just all Greek pantheon stories, the Jason and
Sure,
all that stuff got more press instead of the Marvel stuff.
Man,
they would be copyrighting the people making the deity candles for Zeus.
I mean, I can understand if you went after a multi-international conglomerate that was making millions of dollars based on something. That still would be wrong.
Yeah. But you're talking about people who, they're people.
People that are trying to make a living out of their basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, it sets a precedent. That's what
really
bugs me.
Oh.
Because honestly, Disney just has to, like, make, if for some reason they were to bring back Hercules.
Right.
Right. And I hope they bring back James Woods for it too, because I'm there.
Oh.
That is the only reason I would watch a new Disney movie, is if they made Hercules. If they made like a live action Hercules, they still brought James Woods into it.
They wouldn't do it.
They have to.
They would have to.
They won't, but they have to.
They won't.
Yeah.
Because he would blow up on them.
Yeah. And here's the thing. He has it written, they almost have to, because he has it written in the contract with Disney that every single time they have Zeus, he has to do it. Because he loves that role so much.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's like, he seriously, when he signed on initially to do Hades in the first movie.
Right.
TV shows, video games, Kingdom Hearts, which is basically Disney and Square Enix together.
What a smart guy.
Yeah, he's like, I don't give a fuck. I am this character.
I am this character.
Yeah, not only is it smart. Die. Yeah. Not only is it smart, it's a role he loves to do.
That's definitely somebody who understands the business.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
So if they were to do a live action Hercules, they gotta bring him in. And that's the only reason I would watch it.
I don't understand these multi-billion-dollar, almost trillion-dollar businesses that begrudge people they've hired, performers.
Yeah.
Of just
doing their job.
A smattering of money compared to the overall.
I don't know.
It's like, what was I reading the other day? Something about this particular. It was. Actually, we go back to the Marvel part. It was the character of Black Widow.
Yes.
And Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
And in her contract, she was supposed to receive a certain amount of money. Based on the release of Black Widow, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And Disney...
What, tried to stiff her out of it?
Yes! They basically said, but the contract said that the medium, the movie, whatever, was going to be released on streaming services, and it was also going to go to theatrical general release.
Sure.
And she was supposed to make a certain percentage of money based on the theatrical release.
And
that's going into the theaters, which is...
Not as profitable.
Not as well. The Panini has impacted that particular. Avenue.
Basically, they essentially tried to stiff her out of it.
So what they did was not. She was supposed to make something of upwards around $40 million.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that for it to be released in theaters. So you know what Disney did? They just didn't release it in theaters.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have to pay her. You know, and I don't understand that. I mean, it's like you guys, you make so much money. Already. Okay.
Just give them the money.
Just give the people. You know what? And if you don't want to give them that much money, then don't sign the contract.
Exactly.
I don't understand that. I really don't. And see, well, I do understand it because that tells me. Greed.
And
an extreme amount of dishonesty.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Basically, you can't even honor the contract you co-wrote.
You can't even honor the contract that you helped write.
Yeah.
And you signed it. Nobody held a gun to your head. This isn't The Godfather. Well, either your brain or your signature is going to be on the contract.
Yeah.
No. You
did this.
You did this. And then you want to jerk somebody around and not pay them what you owe them. I don't get that at all.
I don't know.
And it'd be different if you were like, well, it really wouldn't be different. Ultimately, you make that money.
Yeah.
You make it.
Yeah.
And you don't want to pay the people that you sign contracts with. I just don't get it.
I don't
get
either.
it.
So
if you don't want to pay people what you just don't sign the contract.
Yeah.
Change it. And what they did was they basically they pulled the rug out. She still. I think she has taken them to court.
Yeah, I don't know how
and
far.
She will probably get the money out of them because she's on the right side of
this argument
of the argument, the contract.
Yeah.
Because if it says in the contract we were supposed to, we agreed to release it, general release theater,
and then they just didn't. Yeah,
and they just didn't.
I don't know.
They're going to end up writing a check for her regardless.
I just don't understand.
But I just don't understand how you start there.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah,
this is look.
That's stupid. That's not corporate greed. That's corporate stupidity.
Not only that, but look, I know the whole thing about they market it to young kids.
Right.
So their audience is basically on lock because they're going to show it to their kids and on and on and on.
On and on.
Look,
and on.
At some point, the well will stop.
Eventually.
It's not going to be anytime soon, but at some point...
No, it's like...
No, at some point, people are going to keep seeing this and go, you know what, it's just not worth it. Not only that, but it's the age of piracy, so hypothetically, Disney and or Pixar or whatever other businesses that they've, absorbed over the years, they come out with, the greatest movie ever.
Right.
Everyone's going to pirate it so they don't see any of the profit from it.
Well, they're going to profit from it.
Sure.
But there is a difference between, 40 million and 60 million.
Uh-huh. And sooner or later, it will. The well will run dry.
Yeah.
It won't be soon, but
no, it won't.
I
just don't understand the whole mental position of we're not going to follow through with what we promised.
I don't know. We're not the core audience anymore. I don't think they give a shit about us
honestly,
anymore.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: Disney is starting to take a more Eastern tint to a lot of their IPs and whatnot, which I don't personally have anything wrong with. I don't.
Right.
It's obviously Disney's now primary audience is basically China, which I don't blame them because that's where the money's at. No,
that's where the money's at.
That's where the money's at.
It's fucking trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars,
trillions of people.
Yeah.
So honestly, I don't blame them, and also it is a culture that I am curious about, as with all cultures.
Sure.
What their stories are, how they present themselves, etc.
Sure.
But Disney's not really doing a good job pandering to their audience. Seriously, I want you to think about this. The past 3 or so major films that they did essentially as a pandering to the Chinese audience, it was like Raya and the Last Dragon, which I don't know if it's good or bad, but you know how I can tell it wasn't a good movie to the kids watching it?
Yeah.
Alright, I want you to think about this. The movie Tangled, and then Brave, and Big Hero 6, these past animated Moana, the Polynesian one with rock in it.
The Polynesian one,
which was awesome. Moana is awesome. Yeah, it had the Rock in it. He was a Maui. Yes,
a
Maui.
chubby Polynesian guy.
Which is just Polynesian guys.
Yeah.
That's how they're built.
Yeah.
Accept it.
Yeah.
They're built like that.
Yep.
So this is how I know Raya and the Last Dragon was not as successful as they hoped.
Obviously, because I've never heard of it.
Exactly. Number one, you've never heard of it, but you've heard of Frozen and Moana and Tangled and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you've probably haven't watched them. Maybe some of them, yes, some of them, no, but you've heard of them.
True.
You've not heard, a lot of people that don't know about Ray and the Last Dragon.
No.
Here's how I actually know it wasn't successful.
Yeah.
There were still costumes of it at the Halloween section this year.
Costumes of a movie I've never heard of.
Yeah.
All right.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Frozen came out, everyone was Elsa and Anna and all
Well.
Moana came out, everybody's Moana and Maui and, Tangle came out, everybody's Rapunzel and Finn or whatever the hell his name is,
Yeah.
You saw kids dressed up as these characters from these animated movies.
Yes.
You didn't see kids dressed up as Raya.
I did not.
That's my
I did
point.
not.
That's my point.
I've never heard of it.
Exactly.
I didn't look at somebody and go, what the fuck is that?
Mhm.
No, that didn't happen.
I didn't see any kids dressed up as any of the characters. There were still costumes of it at the stores where they were selling costumes.
Right.
I saw all that. Like, every other thing was picked clean except for that section.
Really?
Yeah. It was like the Star Wars toy section when the sequels came out. That's what I mean.
Ooh, that was bad.
That was bad.
That was bad.
Yeah.
You go to Walmart and they're like on the really marked down toy section.
They were like $1. Star Wars toys.
Star Wars toys.
Marked down.
Marked down, yeah.
Yeah, you fucked up when you can't sell the merch.
When you can't sell Star Wars merch,
yeah,
buddy.
you fucked up.
You have screwed up. You have screwed the pooch.
Yeah. Let's see. They remade Mulan, which... Oh.
I mean, there was a lot of... I remember reading a lot. There was some controversy, quote-unquote
Dude,
controversy.
it flopped.
Yeah, I heard it flopped.
It flopped in the home country.
Yeah, wasn't it really woke?
It was something like they completely misunderstood what she was.
Yeah, they definitely didn't remake.
No.
They didn't remake it. They added to it.
No.
They tried to make it.
Well, yes, but no. There was something about. Now, obviously, I am not Chinese.
Obviously.
So, I can only go by. Sure. I can only go by what I have read and what I have heard.
Sure.
By people who know more than me.
Yeah. I got you.
Basically, it was a conglomerate of reasons, not just the re-education camps that they found while filming.
Oh.
Yeah, there was that.
Yeah.
It wasn't just mistaken. It wasn't just mistaken architecture where they just had certain buildings from certain eras that didn't make sense geographically.
It wasn't a cultural misunderstanding.
No.
Like the Nova car that Chevy put out.
Correct.
This
was
Nova
not.
In,
there was too
in
many.
Spanish means no-go, so the cars didn't sell.
Yeah, exactly. There were too many things at play that went wrong with the remake of Mulan for it to just be cultural misunderstanding.
Right.
Let's see. There was other stuff like a complete... It basically boiled down to a Western-style fairy tale with an Eastern lens on top of it.
I got you.
Meaning, part of the critique was like they treated chi as like a special superpower when in Chinese culture it's, saying someone was born without chi is the equivalent of saying someone was born without blood.
Right. Right. No, it's not anything.
It's fundamental to who you are as a person.
10 fingers and 10 toes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not something extra.
It's not something mystical per se.
No,
it's literally part of you. As, hair, fingers, toes, your heart.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, in the movie, they treated it like, she has an extraordinary amount of chi, which was not prominent in the animated version, by the way.
Could I borrow a cup of chi?
Yeah, exactly.
Please.
Yeah.
No, you got it.
Yeah. Yeah, you have it. It is part of you.
It's part of you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there was that. They basically treated chi like a superpower. A lot of people had criticisms about the main antagonist, how she was just a witch when witches don't necessarily exist in Chinese mythology.
Yeah, I've seen...
There might be soothsayers and maybe mystics of sorts.
Yes.
But a witch... Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, no.
I've heard that they would have been better off having the main quote-unquote witch basically being like a fox spirit, because that would have made more sense.
More sense to the targeted culture.
Audience.
Yeah. Fox, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's like in Native American myth, the coyote is often the trickster.
Yeah.
In Chinese mythology, the fox is often the trickster.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar ideas,
right.
And they would have been better off doing something like that, but they didn't.
Huh.
Yeah.
White people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Apparently, it's been described as like a really shoddily written wushu movie.
You think you could bring somebody in
They apparently
that
didn't.
actually is a part of that culture?
Apparently didn't. They just like went to museums and shit.
They can kind of help you segue
into how this is structured. Apparently,
that's not that big of an expense, for crying out loud.
Exactly. We go back to the expense thing.
You guys are just being culturally lazy.
Yeah. No, this was just laziness.
I don't know. Do you think that's changing?
How so?
I don't know. With this whole new, not new, recent. Let's try that. Recent dynamic of, there's the whole thing of cultural appropriation.
Sure.
Could you at least bring somebody in that can give you an insight to the storyline that you have created?
You would think.
That's just lazy to me.
Yeah, that is just lazy.
That's like Star Trek the motion picture. It's just lazy.
Just lazy.
You're just being lazy. Okay.
Yeah, you're literally just copied Nomad.
You're not. Yeah, exactly. You're not really. You're not. You. In the. The targeted audience.
Yeah.
You're just giving them leftovers.
Yes.
Right. You're not really striving to create something new. Well,
worth watching,
worth
consuming.
Watching.
Yeah.
Or you're just cashing in on that. There's already a built-in audience.
Mulan was basically an overblown cash-in.
Yeah.
They were banking on the fact that they just were hoping the Chinese audience would go see it because
it was Mulan.
It was it's one of their stories.
Right.
And it flopped.
But even a flop in China with
they didn't make their budget back. That's how.
What? Really?
That's what I mean by flop.
Wow.
No, I'm not talking about this whole bullshit where they.
Wow.
I'm not talking about this bullshit where like it meets or slightly beats what they put in the budget, but it's considered a flop because it doesn't make multi-millions.
Because it doesn't. If you don't make twice the budget, it's a flop. It's a flop. Waterworld with Kevin Costner.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great movie, but it didn't make
the money
at the time. It didn't make twice the budget.
But they made their budget.
They called it a flop.
Yeah. But they still made their budget back. They got their money back.
Right, they got their money back.
Mulan, they didn't get their money back.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I mean by flop.
That's bad.
That is bad.
Wow, that's bad.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm trying to get at. They didn't make the budget back. It was a legitimate flop.
They should hire us.
Us?
Yeah.
I wouldn't work for Disney if they gave me all the money I could ever want.
Disney, I would love for Disney to hand me a check so I could go, fuck you, buddy. That's fucked up. And you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Honestly, the reason I would work for Disney is just to, be on the set of The Mandalorian. That's literally it.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I would, either that or, the Marvel stuff, which, even though it's cheesy, and eventually the tide is turning against Marvel movies, because they're just saturating the market.
Yeah. And
starting to oversaturate the market.
Well,
so
they've slowed down, but I don't...
Sure, they slowed down because of the panini, but if the panini didn't happen, it would be oversaturated. They would just truck along and drove it into the ground.
Yeah, they did.
So,
yeah, they did.
It kind of already is in the ground, but it could have been a lot worse.
Could have been.
But honestly, if I was hired by Disney, I would just be like, where the fuck are you filming The Mandalorian? Where are you writing The Mandalorian? I want to talk to those guys.
I'm looking for the donuts and the coffee. That's it.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to the Mandalorian people.
Yeah.
That's it. Where the fuck
I
is?
don't know, man. I don't understand.
Anyway.
I get the drive for profit.
Yeah.
I do. I get it.
Then there's Shang Li and the 10 Rings.
How did that go?
Flop.
Really?
Flop.
I knew when I saw that guy when he was in
But you mean, are you talking about the guy from Kim's Convenience?
Yes.
He's hot.
I knew when I saw him. He took his shirt off. I went, oh my God, this guy can act and he looks good without a shirt on.
That's what I said.
You're going to see that guy again.
Oh,
sure
I know
enough.
I am.
I don't know his name.
I'm glad, because he's cute.
He's a good looking dude.
Like,
he really is.
I saw him on Kim's Convenience, and I'm like, why are you the only hot person on the show?
You're awfully tall for someone that's
not known for being tall.
Not from people that's not known for being tall. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know what?
I don't give a fuck.
I have a good time with these conversations. I really do.
I'm glad. But that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like, they're pandering to their core audience, and it somehow isn't working.
Oh.
Like, here's the thing. It would be different if they put in the effort.
Right.
You see what I mean? If they brought in a team of experts from China on Chinese culture, like from China, Chinese culture,
something
on the Mulan thing, and it's still flawed.
Well,
it'd be different if they conducted Shang Li and the 10 Rings, like wrote it better, directed it better, because it's a huge hodgepodge of a bunch of stuff.
Really, I mean, I want to see it, but I haven't seen it yet. I mean, because
Shang Li and the 10 Rings, it's like a revenge story, family, ancestry, one story where the echoes of the past haunt the present. It's a coming-of-age story. It's a romantic comedy. It's a buddy comedy. It's a comedy. It's an action comedy. It's a kung fu movie. It's a comedy kung fu movie. They slam so much shit together, it's very incoherent in terms of tone and writing.
Okay.
You see?
I got you.
And I'm just like, how do you fuck up a kung fu movie?
That's true.
Do you understand? Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth, people? It's a fucking kung fu movie. You just have 60 to 90 minutes of people fucking killing each other with awesome kung fu shit, like the Shaw Brothers. And somehow you still fuck it up.
Hey, we're gonna play a clip. Listen to this.
Oh, hang on. Where's the trailer for?
No.
Oh man, where's the trailer for 5 Deadly Poisons?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I love kung fu movies.
Yeah, so do I.
The 5 Deadly Poisons.
5 Deadly Venoms or 5 Deadly Poisons.
5 Deadly Venoms. The greatest kung fu movie ever created. Shaw Brothers. Ever. Shaw Brothers. Oh, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I remember being probably about 15 or 16 years old watching it when WGN out of Chicago on a Sunday afternoon and just being absolutely mesmerized by it. It is the greatest kung fu movie.
Fu! That's the whole movie.
That's the whole movie.
That's it. You're listening to it. Oh, come on. Do the whoosh. That's the whole movie.
That's the whole movie. And it's just
and you fuck it up.
And you fuck it up.
And they still fucked it up.
Oh, that's terrible.
That right there, I was like, you know what? It would be one thing if Disney was giving a shit.
Obviously.
Like, if they put forth the effort.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
They're not putting forth the effort, and it's showing.
Well, that's awful.
Yeah. So
that's what ticks me off because I it's kind of like and I know we're about to have a very strong emotional release from you.
Oh no.
When I mentioned this.
Uh-huh.
But I'm
ready.
What was the M. Night Shyamalan movie?
Are you talking about Avatar?
Avatar.
Or Last Airbender?
Last Airbender. Visually, it was brilliant.
Yes.
But everything else was shit.
Exactly. That's what Disney's doing.
That's what Disney's doing. Yeah. They're just mailing it in.
They're mailing it in. And it'd be different if they were getting their money's worth out of it. They're not.
I don't see how it could be that much difference.
I don't know.
I mean, it's a tweak here and a tweak there.
Personally, here's the thing. My whole thought process was, okay, you had an animated movie that flopped. No big deal. That shit happens.
It happens.
You had a major blockbuster Mulan flop.
Right.
You would think at some point that would have gotten someone's attention in the boardroom that Mulan flopped in China.
I hope. Yeah, that's pretty bad, right?
You'd think that would have gotten somebody's attention where they were like, pump the brakes.
Oh, they won't even buy it for their kids that don't even understand it.
Yeah.
That's bad.
That's bad.
That's bad. Okay, if you won't even buy it for your 2-year-old who is just happy watching something.
That's bad.
That's bad. Okay, that's bad. That's
like you honestly.
How can you follow nothing with less?
Exactly.
I
love Brian Regan.
Yeah, Brian Regan.
So honestly, if I was like the chairman of Disney, and I can't say thank God I'm not, because me without a business degree, I would have been like, you know what? I think I can do a better job. A civilian on the street. A civilian on the street
could have done a better job.
Yeah. As soon as I would have heard Mulan flopped as the chairman at the board of Disney, as the supreme leader at Disney, basically.
Dun, 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 dun,
yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
I am the fucking emperor of Disney right now. I'm putting my hat on, metaphorically, because I don't have the actual emperor's robes or shit.
Darth Goofy.
Yeah. Yes.
Goofy's right.
Okay, let us pretend I am the supreme emperor. I am the Darth Sidious of Disney.
Sure.
All right.
Darth Sidious. That's wonderful.
I am pretending. I am basically the Darth Sidious of Disney. I am the supreme emperor. The second I received word that Mulan flopped, I would have done exactly 3 things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have said, all right, we are pumping all this, on all of the very obvious pandering projects towards the target audience of Japan.
Yeah.
Or not Japan, sorry, China.
China.
I would say, all right, pump the brakes on all of them.
Yeah.
All of them. All of the ones that are explicitly pandering to the Chinese audience, I would have said, stop immediately. Everyone go home. We got some issues.
We're retooling.
Yeah. I would have pumped the brakes on all those projects, sent everybody home, have a vacation, we'll call you when we're ramping back up. Number 2.
Yeah.
I would have reconvened everyone in charge of the Mulan production and given everyone a detailed interview of what exactly happened, and for them to talk to the PR department.
And be honest about
it.
Listen to the person that says, you know what, we suggested this ABC, and these people over here overruled it.
Yeah, and I would have interviewed.
You need to listen to that.
Yeah, I would have had everyone from the writers, the directors, staff production, the actors, the fucking caterers would have been drugged, and I would have had all of them talk to.
I don't know, man. I just showed up and brought the donuts.
Well, you were a witness, and your opinion is valid.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
So I would have conducted a full behind-the-scenes investigation of the production of Mulan post-launch. And once I have gathered all the intel that I could possibly get in order to correct it for the future, once the pandering projects get set back up, here's number 3 of what I would have done.
Yeah.
Publicly executed those responsible. Because it's pandering, remember?
With water pistols.
No.
Anyway, that
is in that precise order. That is what I would have done.
It is the
halt all production, full investigation, execute the people responsible
in the public square. I don't understand where
death of Stalin up in this bitch. Wrong country. I don't care. You know what I'm talking about.
Hurry up and take your test. Quit Stalin.
Exactly.
I don't understand within a couple of 100,000, within a couple million, why you can't put out a quality product.
That's the thing.
I mean, Snow White still sells.
Yes.
Cinderella still sells.
They remade it again.
And
it sucks.
But what I'm saying is if you're in charge of that type of industry,
yes,
make a quality product.
That's the least you could have done.
Just throwing stuff out there just to
you're wasting money.
You are wasting money.
Yeah,
you're costing yourself what you think you are achieving in the short term. You are losing in the long term.
Yeah, here's the thing.
I don't understand that.
If Disney made quality stuff,
which they haven't done in quite a while.
Yeah,
actually.
The last really good one was Moana.
Yeah.
And that had to have been an accident. That was the last good one that they did, really, honestly and truly. Even Kingdom Hearts 3 just kind of petered out and failed. Yeah. I'm in that fandom. I get it. And here's the thing. If Disney put out, quality stuff, I would have been they're evil, but they're, they do scummy stuff, but they do make some good movies and TV shows and whatnot, They do. They put out good stuff, despite being kind of scummy. They're scummy and got nothing to show for it.
They got nothing to show for it. That's the worst part. They're just dumping stuff onto the populace.
Uh-huh.
And you might as well be just a B-movie studio.
Exactly.
Which in B-movies, you have that type of expectation. Oh, hey, they shot this movie in a week on a budget of $150. Then you expect that type of outcome. Yeah. Okay. But something from Disney?
Yeah.
No, you don't get that.
Yeah, you don't get that.
You don't get that.
You don't get it. No.
We expect magic.
Yeah, because that's what you promised.
Give us magic. If you're Disney, give us magic. Or don't do it at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do it at all.
So, there you go. I mean, and to an extent, the first 4 to 6 episodes of WandaVision was also really good. And so it's the first 4 to 6 episodes of WandaVision and Moana, and that's it.
WandaVision must have fallen off. Have they done another season?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean,
I haven't heard anything about it. There for a while, it was all over the news.
Oh, yeah.
I was reading article after article after article.
Oh, yeah, because it started off awesome. There was this mystery. There was this dread. Why the fuck is Vision, who's supposed to be dead, and why the fuck is Wanda Romanoff?
Right.
She has an American accent, and they're in, the Dick Van Dyke Show. What's happening?
Yeah.
There was mystery. Okay. And even when they showed
so they've stopped production on it right now.
Oh, it's done. Yeah, they wrapped up.
Done?
Yeah, they wrapped it. It's been done.
I can't get into that.
Okay.
We don't have enough time left on this.
No, we don't.
We don't have enough time left on this tape.
Yeah.
Oh man, what are they doing?
I don't know.
Are they involved in anything?
They finished the show.
Really?
And it's probably going to roll into the new Doctor Strange movie.
Okay.
That's probably what's going to end up happening.
It's going to be like the BBC, where you only get 1 or 2 seasons of a really good show.
Well, the problem is for some reason Disney is kind of doing a Doctor Who thing. Well, they will make an entire Christmas special just as a prologue to one episode.
Really?
Yeah, they're kind of doing stuff like that, where they're having
That's
TV
weird.
shows fill in as canon for the movies.
Okay.
Meaning, at some point, you're gonna be seeing a Marvel movie sometime in the future, where it's it's Ant-Man 5 or something like that. Something like that, where Paul Rudd's running around being Paul Rudd. And then all of a sudden, Wanda Romanoff shows up, and she's the Scarlet Witch, and Paul Rudd's like, oh my god, how did you master your powers? And she's like, it's a long story. And she's referring to WandaVision. Where if you didn't see WandaVision, you don't know how the Scarlet Witch came to be. You don't know how she just
got from point A to B.
Exactly. How she got from someone who could sort of kind of control her powers to creating black holes out of her mouth or some shit.
Right,
I'm trying not to be grotesque with the imagery, but you know.
Sure.
So.
Wow.
So, that's kind of what Disney's doing. They're having the TV shows fill in as canon plot, but the problem is some of the TV shows ain't that great.
So people aren't going to watch it as a rule.
Yeah, I mean,
they're going to hear about it and read about it, maybe.
Yeah, they're gonna get the synopsis later, but honestly, you know, because here's the thing: the first couple of episodes of WandaVision, that was pretty good.
Well,
the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that was just loud, dumb, and obnoxious. It had good moments, but it was just loud, dumb, and obnoxious.
Right.
And the only reason people are watching Loki is because Tom Hiddleston looks good in a suit.
Apparently, I can't figure out any other reason.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's got some accent that enchants the ladies.
Yeah, that's common.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, that's the only reason people are watching the show is because people think Tom Hiddleston is hot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's basically it.
Go for it, ladies.
Indeed.
Or dudes or
whatever.
Was it's and was
whatever. So that's literally what's happening.
All right.
So there you go.
Woo.
Yeah, we might want to wrap this up.
Yeah.
It's getting really long, and we're getting kind of heated in here, and I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, you got anything else?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, I know you got more to add, but we ain't got time.
No. No,
right.
And I'm I don't have the energy, obviously, that I had an hour ago. So.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
And I was your co-host, Mr. Scratch.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Goodbye.